up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am your host, as always, Rasheed White. Now, you see the title of this show over here, man. Stephen A. tries to gaslight his audience, man. Really kind of thinking his audience is really stupid. Now, you know, I mean, everybody knows there's been a beef between Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith. And, they've been going back and forth, and Stephen A. actually claps back. He responds, and he's saying that Jason Whitlock is actually truly lying. Now, listen, let me tell you something about myself over here, man. And I've been playing basketball. I've been studying this sport for 25 years, okay? 25 years. Basketball is my life. It's the only sport I actually watch. The only sport I really care about. I don't care about boxing. Don't care about football. Don't care about baseball or anything like that. So when Jason Whitlock tells you that this man does not know what the hell he's even talking about when it comes to basketball, trust you and believe me, he does not know what the hell he's even talking about. I mean, he's made so many ridiculous bad takes, and it's all derived off of pure emotions. You know, this man is a beta cuck. I mean, straight up. And I'm going to start doing more videos because I heard him saying, oh, I'm going to end your Jason Whitlock's career. I'm like, no. You know what, Stephen A., I'm coming after you. I'm going to make a lot of videos about you, and I'm going to expose your ass because you don't know what the hell you're talking about when it comes to basketball, and I'm going to back up Jason Whitlock. Let's get into what Stephen A. Smith actually has to say. We're going to critique this stuff over here. I was about to go to bed when I heard this over here, man. I'm like, what the hell? And then, let's get into this. Let's see what he actually has to say.
I'm a sports reporter and sports commentator. That is what I have been throughout my career. It is my responsibility to tell you what I see through my lens, how I feel about it, what my perspective is, etc.
See, and all you're getting is just feelings from him. You know, you're not getting hard facts.
It's not like I'm sitting at home with absolutely nothing to do and no obligation to touch on anything, but I feel the need to invoke and ingratiate my thoughts, opinions, etc., upon the world. I actually get paid to do this. And because of that, sometimes my opinions, my thoughts, my feelings, etc., are things that you would not like. But I have never lied to you.
Oh, really?
Ever.
Okay.
If I wrote a story or I wrote an article, it's based on the things that I've been told, what I've seen, and what I feel. It is rare that I talk about myself on a personal level because my personal life is not anybody's business and I don't get into other people's personal life. It's not something that I do. Many figures in the world of sports find themselves in personal situations, not lawlessness, not unlawful things or anything like that, but there's plenty of situations, Michael, Sherry, Juvie, where I've seen certain things and I turned a blind eye and a deaf ear to it because it's none of my business. And I leave it alone. And one of the other things that I never do, I never attack my colleagues. I might disagree with something somebody says or does, and I might have an obligation to speak on it because it's in the news or whatever, but I don't speak against my colleagues. Once humanity comes into play, that's a given. Here's the other. That's not real work. Think about this for a second. I'm supposed to be covering sports, but I make a career out of talking about my colleagues. That ain't work. That's you finding some slick way to get a check because you can't get a job. That's Jason Whitlock.
Listen, Stephen A. Smith is a complete sellout. And the only reason why Stephen A. Smith has a job is because he will sell his own soul. He's just a mouthpiece. He has a loud mouth and he's highly emotional. And that's the only reason why he has a job. Ain't nobody watches Stephen A. Smith for basketball knowledge. If you want to know the game of basketball, or I don't know about football, so I don't know anything about football, so I'm just pertaining to basketball over here. Stephen A. Smith is not your guy for anybody actually watching this. He's a yes man. That's all he is. He's a yes man. He's a yes man, and that's the only reason why he actually has a job.
That's who the hell he is. Now, I have sat back for years, at least 9 to 10 years, saying absolutely nothing about this man. I never uttered the words fat bastard out of my mouth until a few months ago. So that means that the previous 9 years, you never heard me speak on him at all. But now it's necessary. Excuse me. Because you see, if you listen to the fat bastard, I didn't play high school ball, even though my coach's name was Harvey Stoller. It was Thomas A. Edison Vocational and Technical High School. I played there my senior year. I was in a basketball tournament at Fashion Institute of Technology where I dropped 27 points and got a scholarship because the coach came calling me after that and what happened. If you listen to him, I never had a scholarship to Winston-Salem State, even though it's on the books. Just call it university. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an honorary doctorate. I have an honorary doctorate because of my contributions to Winston-Salem State. I'm called Dr. Smith. Has something to also do with the contributions that I make because I believe about uplifting. I'm an ambassador for HBCU Week, and I've partnered with Ashley Christopher and Mir Persicki in Delaware and others to generate over 10,000 scholarships in excess of over $65 million in scholarships for African Americans.
All a tax write-off. All a tax write-off. That's all that is. A tax write-off.
But this man will tell you I'm lying. He even went so far as to say my autobiography, where I talk about my mother, my father, my sisters, the business, my hiring and firing and rehiring at ESPN. I didn't write it. I didn't write my own memoir.
What you can do is you can have somebody, you can tell, they have people, professional writers. So let's say I want to write a book, I want to get a book out. I can actually just interview somebody or have somebody actually sit down with me and I can tell them exactly how I want the book written. So I can say, hey, I'm Rasheed, I grew up in the Bronx, I lived in one of the worst neighborhoods in the Bronx, and they'll just be writing this stuff down and they'll actually get all the spellings and everything and the commas and all that stuff. They'll get the grammar, they'll get everything correct for you so they can actually get the book published. So that's what Jason Whitlock actually really truly means right there.
Which, by the way, is a New York Times bestseller. Something he wouldn't know anything about. Did you know that it's now on paperback? It just came out yesterday on paperback. Do you know that you could go to Amazon.com, StraightShooterBook.com, or a bookstore nearest you to get my book in paperback? Do you know that when people are normally selling 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 copies, I've sold over 400,000?
Y'all want to know what Stephen A. Smith actually did to actually get his book sold right here? Because listen, a lot of people I talked to, after that whole vaccine nonsense, man, they weren't feeling Stephen A. Smith like that, man. When he was trying to force Kyrie Irving to actually take the vaccine. Here's what Stephen A. Smith actually does over here. Let me show you what he actually does. Now, this movie was back in the 1988. It was from Eddie Murphy. It was called The Distinguished Gentleman, and Eddie Murphy actually plays a politician. He gets into the Congress, and there's a lot of corruption there. So let me show y'all. Let me see if this actually comes up. Hold on, let me see something. Hold on. Because you can actually pay people to actually buy your book, man. You can have some type of like you say, you set up a dummy corporation. or something like that, and you can actually get buy books $400,000 and 400,000 like a 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 copies of fake books, and not fake books, but basically have somebody buy your books. And let me see if this actually comes up over here. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. Why it's not showing up, man? Oh, here we go. Wait. All right. You're gonna find this funny over here. Hold on. All right, maybe I can just play the sound bite. I'm trying to show you how the picture here. Why is that coming up? There we go. Here we go. All right.
10,000 copies here for $1.
All right. You see what I'm saying right here? They can actually buy. You can actually get people that actually buy your books over here, man. If you want to actually make it a bestseller. Hold on. All right, so right over there, man. All right, so people, he can actually get his book sold, man. And then I wouldn't be surprised, since he was in the acting business. He was an actor. He was on was a General Hospital or something like that. That he knows how to add some extra flair to the book. Because I mean, his life is really not that exciting or anything like that, man. Blah blah blah. You worked at a newspaper in Philadelphia. Okay, yeah. So he got to add all this extra drama and stuff like that to really try to get you, to try to cater to your emotions, so you can actually go out there and buy his book and everything. So a lot of this stuff, I don't believe him, not one bit. I believe he's a liar, a pathological liar. All right, let me get back into his interview over here, or his whole response. All right, let's see. Let me just play it. So.
Did you know? But he will tell you, I didn't write it. He's seen my writing. Really? This article is an article written on Deadspin.com. The title, How Jason Whitlock is Poisoning ESPN's Black Grant Land. Because remember, Bill Simmons, who's now at Spotify doing a great job, obviously had Grantland at ESPN. And upon his departure, Jason Whitlock was supposed to take up the mantle and create a black website. This article was written by a Greg Howard, published on April 27, 2015. The same Jason Whitlock that said he's seen my writing, the same Jason Whitlock that implied that I couldn't write, the same Jason Whitlock that said that I'm lying. What does this man do? Why would I call up this article? There's a plethora of reasons why I would do so, ladies and gentlemen. One of the reasons would be because it's as in-depth as it gets about how scurrilous, how trifling, how despicable this man is. But there's also another reason that I'd pick up this article. Let me read the graph to you that it says. Keep in mind, Stephen A. can't write. This staff, the one Whitlock was praising by way of warnings that if the writers and editors wouldn't align with his vision, he would get rid of them, was not the one Whitlock wanted. The Undefeated, because that was the name of the title before it ultimately became Andscape. The Undefeated was originally meant to attract the best and brightest young black talent in the country, with Whitlock's aim set so high that he at one point seriously tried to recruit the Atlantic's Ta-Nehisi Coates, the sharpest cultural commentator in the business today. As things worked out, though, those young writers comprehensively refused to work with him. So did big-name ESPNers like Howard Bryant, Jamel Hill, and Stephen A. Smith. Couldn't write, huh? While you were on Blaze TV, spewing that bullshit to people. Did you tell them that? Did you tell them how you stood outside of First Take begging to talk to you? Did you tell them that once this same article in Deadspin came out, weeks later you wrote a lengthy apology to me in an email, begging me to forgive you, pointing out how you were betrayed by this particular writer, so you know how I must feel that you betrayed me? Did you tell the folks that, you bitch? Did you tell them? You fat piece of shit. Did you tell them that? Got the names. We got Jamel Hill. We got Howard Bryant. You want me to bring up the other writers that wouldn't work for you? Why it took you nearly 2 years to get an article out? Because you ran that shit so bad you were running it into the ground? What a disgrace you were to John Skipper, the former boss of ESPN? Or the host of others? You want me to talk?
All right, I'm definitely gonna get some sleep over here. I'm gonna believe anything that Stephen A. Smith actually says. He's proven to me thousands of times that he's a categorical liar. I believe Jason Whitlock. He doesn't know what he's actually talking about when it comes to basketball. Again, I don't know about football. There has to be other people that actually knows the game that actually really kind of disagrees with Stephen A. I look more into this, into the future, what Stephen A. Smith was actually saying. Maybe there'll be a part 2 of this, but for him, I just can't deal with it. I'm going to be making way more Stephen A. Smith videos. My man, you are on my shit list right now, and I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you and all your bad basketball takes, and I'm going to show people that you don't know what the hell you're even talking about, and you just made an enemy of me right now. All right, so definitely like, comment, subscribe, certainly share this video, and when you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.